We are live in five, four, three. You know the rest. Did you just watch Gary Hubb's video for Ice Ice Baby? If you did, like me, you probably nearly fell off your chair because you would have seen me and my reaction to that. So, knowing what we were in for, I wanted to speak to the man of the moment. So, please welcome back to the channel, Mr. Gary Hubbs. How are you doing today, Gary?
I'm doing really good, Pete. I feel a lot of relief right now.
So for those who are watching this that haven't seen the actual video, I would hit pause on this if you're watching the replay. The video's down. It's the first comment pinned down below. Go and watch the video because this chat's not going to make a heck of a lot of sense if you haven't seen the video. But if you have, you'll know what we're talking about. So Gary, tell us the story. How did this come about, and what have you done?
Oh, well, I want to do this first. Just drop that like that. So, for people who don't know, I was kind of heckling Pete on his weekly acoustic unplugged show. For weeks on end, I was requesting System of a Down Chop Suey. And I never expected Pete to pull it off. I never expected him to do it. So I made I made what I thought would be like a hollow bet where, if you do play this song, Pete, you get to pick a cover for me. And so my jaw was on the floor when Pete came out about a month ago and started his show with Chop Suey. And so there was a lot of people watching that video, and I think only two people knew the ramifications of that song. And my jaw was on the floor. So when the vote came out that it was between Ice Ice Baby, Macarena, and Barbie Girl by Aqua, as much as I didn't like Vanilla Ice, I was really pulling for this song because it automatically comes with Queen attached to it, right? It comes with Under Pressure attached, embedded in it. So there was musical meat on the bone that I knew I could go with.
Which, yeah, and again, spoiler alert, but hopefully everyone has watched the video by now. And if you haven't, again, hit pause and go and watch it. But yeah, that was just gold. I've heard a lot of covers, and I know you said when Jade interviewed you the other day that you hadn't listened, you deliberately didn't listen to a lot of the rock and metal covers of Ice Ice Baby. I don't know that anyone has ever fully committed to hitting the Under Pressure chorus the way that you did. So what was that? Was that something you wanted to do from the start, or where did that inspiration come from?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. From the start. When the vote started looking like Vanilla Ice was pulling away, I was listening to Under Pressure and I was listening to Ice Ice Baby at the same time. And right from the get-go, I knew it was going to be a mashup of those two songs. And I didn't know it was going to be a mashup of more songs at that point, but right off the bat, I knew I was going to do Queen in the choruses and probably to finish off the song.
Yeah, and again, we'll talk more about the ending as well. We've got a lot to talk about here, but let's say g'day to the folks who are here live. Or what's the Canadian? What's g'day, but the Canadian version? What would you say to folks?
Oh,
howdy.
geez.
No, that's not Canadian. What's Canadian?
A nice polite hello. Hello.
Hello. Would you like some Timbits?
Yeah.
Sorry. Got Timbits in my head for some reason. I keep thinking Timbits. But let's say good day to Scott. It says, wow. I just have to say that was a lot of fun. Well done, Gary. Tom Rochelle here. What an epic arrangement. Didn't expect at. Russ is being kind and polite. He knows that this is a PG-13 show, so he's kept it all right. And Binny Sandu, hello to you, Binny. Awesome. How someone can rock like that. Definitely. SM Borthwick, blown away. Jane Starr, not surprisingly, very impressed with your work there. And Annie G in the house too. You've been busy. Must have been a lot of work gone into that performance. So yeah, let's pause on that and let's talk about the work that you put into that. So this came about pretty quickly. I think I only played that show with Chop Suey maybe 5 weeks ago, and you've got all of this done in that time. What was the workload like? How many hours did you pump into creating the song and then, of course, creating the video?
I really wish I had kept notes of how much time it took, because a lot of time went into it. The Ice Ice Baby part of it came together pretty fast. I found the riff I wanted to use, and that music came along pretty quickly. the the Queen part took a lot longer. Queen and David Bowie. I can't forget David Bowie here, but
Yep.
that took a lot longer to do. And I interviewed a whole bunch of songs to see what would fit in there. The thing about the Under Pressure parts was that it at the end of the song it kind of dragged. It didn't really work in my arrangement of it, my interpretation of it. I needed to get out fast. I needed to amp up the intensity and just get out. And the Queen and David Bowie Under Pressure just wouldn't let me do that. So
Yeah.
I was just coming off of the Song Timber thing, so I had already been in a fast production mode. Song Timber came along for me. I was done. I think my song was live by the 21st, so I was done, and I was able to jump right into this, and I kept that same kind of pace. The music came fast. I had the music probably done in like a week, waiting for the mashup parts to come. That was done in another week. The video probably took about 2 weeks, and I've been sitting on the link for about 10 or 12 days, just dying to get it out there, but sitting on it. So
Well, that's
yeah.
the thing. It was actually done. So we were discussing this, and Gary sent me pretty much the final version, nearly 2 weeks ago. And it just happened that it was leading into Halloween. And Gary, I know you've been working hard during the weeks and just finding the time to actually do this. And I'm like, we want to do this justice. So I thought, yeah, we'll do it straight after the Q&A show, and then premiere the video, and then have this chat, so that I knew folks would want to know more about it. And many people, Jade, SM Borthwick, and others, are saying you have to release this digitally. And Tom has a good point here, that releasing it might be a logistical nightmare, but it's totally worth it. So take us through, because it's not just those two songs in there. What other little nuggets do you have in the track for those that haven't heard it yet? And again, go and listen to it, but talk us through what else you've sprinkled in there at the end.
Well, I'm gonna blame this whole mess on Guns N' Roses because as soon as I played "Sweet Child of Mine" over top of that chorus, it fit like a glove.
Yeah.
And it changed the song from a 2-song mashup to I'm wondering if everyone's got all 7. The first 2 I'll give you free, but I wonder if anyone's got all 7 songs that are in there.
There you go. Let's get folks to guess before you give them away. We'll get folks here who are live to see if we can compile them together, and you can confirm or deny any of the 7 songs that are mashed in there.
Sure. And yeah, I mean, like I interviewed a lot of songs, but the criteria for me was it had to be iconic. I was on Jade's channel the other day, and we talked about Metallica for a couple hours. They're not iconic enough in my mind. I still regret I didn't work AC/DC in there. I would have loved to have got AC/DC in there, but. Yeah, no, they had to be included. They had to be absolutely iconic. So before, yeah,
the comments.
I'm just wondering. Yeah, I'm wondering who's got them all. Yeah, who's got all 7? But I saw a question I wanted to. Oh, geez.
Well, there's one here. Annie G's asking, why has no one mentioned the hair? Where did the hair come from? What was the inspiration there? Vanilla Ice not really known for that style hair. What made you go, yeah, we're going to go the full mullet wig going on here?
That was I had that wig on hand. I mean, I'll tell you that my budget for this entire project, beginning to end, was about $30, and that $30 was the rehearsal space to record the video of the band playing, and everything else was free or on hand. And a couple years ago for Halloween, I might have bought a wig, and I was like, I'll throw the wig on. I kind of wanted to. When I started this project, actually, hold on, I gotta just.
Hey, there you go, red. Get on it.
Damn, that's tasty. When I started this project, I wasn't excited about doing a cover of Vanilla Ice, and I kind of didn't want to own it. So by putting the wig on and the shades, I kind of got to step into a different character, and maybe not. Maybe it was easier to make fun of myself as a different character. So that's why I put the wig on.
Got it.
There was the question I saw, the girlies on standby. Someone said they wish there was girlies on standby.
There were no girlies on standby.
That's it. So, I mean, yeah, I didn't have my costume department didn't have that for this guy to appear as another character in the video. But I don't know where you're from, Pete. But if a friend of mine said girlies are on standby and they're waving just to say hi, and I say, "Did you stop?" and they say no, I said, "There's no girlies. You're lying. If they were there, you would have stopped, right? Come on, be honest with
Yeah.
yourself."
We'd say that it's a tall tale. It would be say, yeah,
Yeah.
get your hand off it, mate. Would be what we'd say to someone that would say that. So if you're not, let's talk about that rehearsal space because we'll take a look over here. This is the video itself, the official video there that's already got a bunch of folks watching it and liking it. So this is the rehearsal space that you used here in the video, and there are 3 of you in there rocking out in this tune. So, couple of questions. What made you decide? Yeah, I'm going to record in the rehearsal space there on this one, given that the parking lot is kind of your space. And yeah, what was the video production like? I know you mentioned it on Jay's channel the other day, but for those that didn't catch that interview, how did you get this done?
Yes, and I'll talk as if people. I mean, I know a lot of people who are here would have seen that video, but there's people that weren't there. So, I'll try to explain it that in ways that address it for the people who weren't in that video. So I went to the rehearsal space. I've been playing with the idea of appearing in multiple spaces on the screen at the same time, doing guitar and bass for different videos, and that was cool for the parking lot. For those, like the video for parking lots, literally. But I wanted to work the drum set in. I wanted to be the 3-piece band in the space. So logistically, it had to be at the rehearsal space. I don't own a drum set, and so this is something that I've been wanting to do for quite a while. Is take the video into the rehearsal space, get the 3-piece band. I did record video of me as the guitar player doing the rap, but I obviously didn't use that. I gave that job to someone else, to a different character. But yeah, so I use a split screen effect, and it's really simple to use. I use an old version of iMovie on my Mac, and if I convert all my video to black and white, I can crop and overlay 2 versions of video so I can appear in 2 places at the same time. After that's done, I can render the video out, export it, bring it back in, and add the 3rd layer to it because I can only split it into 2 spots at any given time. So,
Yeah.
I hope that makes sense. I hope that
Yeah, I
answers the
mean,
question.
it does. But yeah, if you do have other questions, by the way, for Gary about that or about anything, about the delicious beer that he's drinking there, then yeah, do throw those in the chat here, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. But yeah, it's a pretty cool method, and it's something I've used a couple of times, and it's a lot of fun to just do that, to have multiple versions of the UI. I made a video where there were 4 of me, and my wife watched it and said, "God, dealing with one of you is enough. Could you not show me that video again?" Let's go through and see if we've got all the songs here. We've so you can see the chat here as well.
Sure.
By the way, Canadian is hey bud. There you go.
There you go. I was gonna say, do you need help pushing your car out of the snow? That's the way that we greet Canadians. But
did we get some Zeppelin? Is that we've got Zeppelin here from Russ? Was it Kashmir? Says Scott.
Yeah.
Limp Bizkit. I don't think Limp Bizkit is a guess, but
No.
Bizkit can't hold a candle to Gary Hubbs. I don't think you slotted any Fred Durst in there. Did I pick some Darkness in there too from Andy Goldsby? Did I hear some ZZ Top? You've got people. I think folks have only heard it one time through before they watch this. So
yeah.
What did you do you want to let the cat out of the bag, or do you want to leave it as a mystery for a little while?
Sure. No, I'll put the cat out of the bag here. So in the first chorus there, of course, there's the first chorus has Sweet Child of Mine playing over top of what is actually just pretty much what would be the chorus in either Under Pressure or Ice Ice Baby. So that was pretty easy to do. If you take away the Sweet Child of Mine, it's pretty much just the way the song would be. The second chorus got really wacky. That's where I was really trying to find songs to fit. So ultimately, after holding all these interviews, I decided to go with "No Sleep to Brooklyn" by the Beastie Boys, and it fits so good, and it felt so much fun to play. Again, to tie into Vanilla Ice, I mean, we're talking about Caucasian dudes rapping, right? So I mean, that kind of goes back to the Beastie Boys.
Yeah,
They were probably they're one of the first and probably the best. You know, my hip hop world isn't huge, but the
yeah,
Beastie Boys are part of my world. So, and then the last thing I did on this song actually was put the ZZ Top Sharp Dressed Man over top of that. So that's a weird like 3-layered sandwich mashup there, where you've got ZZ Top over top of the Beastie Boys with Queen and David Bowie's lyrics, and it was just a mind melt. Towards the end of the song, again, I knew I had to kick it up and get the intensity up, really get the metal going, and get out after some intensity. So again, I interviewed a lot of songs and settled on War Pig. No, yeah, War Pigs by Black Sabbath. Sorry,
yeah.
um, just a little bit there, and then right at the time that you see the Hindenburg blow up is when Kashmir comes in, and
Yeah.
that finishes off the song.
Which, yeah, is an epic finish. Like, just to hear that coming in at the end there, I'm like, "Oh, man." It's the sort of thing, I've said this a bunch of times. I've said this to you and to others that I love a song that takes you on a journey and that tells a story. And to be able to take a song like Ice Ice Baby and turn it into a journey like that, it's not an easy thing to do because let's be honest, it's a pretty crap song. So, what you've been able to do with it is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would have done if the vote had gone with Macarena or Barbie Girl. I don't even want to think about that. I really don't. Yeah.
Could have been a challenge there. Russell said he saw Run DMC and Beastie Boys in Brixton 1987. Still have the T-shirt. That sounds like pretty epic stuff. We've got some other versions being compared here. Yeah, so Frog Leap, which is I don't know if you've seen much of his
Oh,
work. I can never remember his name. The dude, he's got an epic beard, not quite as epic as yours, Gary, but yeah, he does a bunch of metal covers of other songs. So apparently he's done Ice Ice Baby, but I'm sure he didn't infuse 6 other tunes in there. So there you go. Um,
yeah.
what else? Yes, and Tom says that, yeah, I've never heard the Limp Bizkit. Not sure I really need to. No, you don't. You don't need
No,
to hear the Limp Bizkit
no,
version.
you don't.
I guarantee. I highly recommend that you don't listen to any Limp Bizkit music, but that's just my personal opinion. My opinion. You do you. What I did have another question here for you, but it's just gone from my head. Oh yes, it was about the releasing of this. So what are the plans for this? You've got the YouTube video, you've got the audio obviously done and sounding awesome. Where to from here? Are you just going to sit on it and see what the reaction is from here?
Well, I'm not opposed to releasing it, but someone mentioned, I think it was Tom Rochelle mentioned logistical nightmare, and I think it is. I mean, I'd have to look into the legal ramifications because I think what I've done is created a derivative work, and I don't really
Yeah.
know how that flies, right? Like it's not a straight cover anymore. So, you know, on the one hand, if I have to pay out a couple pennies to every songwriter who's involved, I don't know if there's much left for me, and I don't know if Ice is gonna come for my money because Queen came for his money, but we'll have to see. I'm not opposed to it. I really have to look into the legal ramifications and how to do that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's an interesting one because here's the thing: like someone mentioned, how many content ID claims did this get on YouTube? I don't know about your video, but I obviously had the full version on the premiere that we just showed here on the channel, and I'm just going in to check. I don't have a single copyright claim on that. So YouTube's robots, at least, haven't found it, and I tagged it as Ice Ice Baby Vanilla Ice
Mm,
World Premiere. So yeah, it hasn't picked up any of the audio ID. So again, because it's a
mm.
derivative work, it's obviously different enough from every other version or the originals that it is not really. So it's one of those interesting covers that's so far from the original that it's not even flagging as the lyrics or the melody. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, it is interesting, and so you'd expect to see something like that quickly, then.
Absolutely, yeah. So I
Oh, okay.
uploaded the video 3 days ago, and usually YouTube it's 24 hours max minimum. So when I do my
Mm.
Your live shows that I do yesterday, like I'm looking at that show, and I've got about 5 copyright claims on that. I did a cover of a Bob Evans song, an Australian artist here last week. I'd uploaded it before I even went in to edit the description. It already had a copyright claim. So the automated YouTube robots, if they're going to tag it, they'll tag it in the first day. So for it not to be tagged means it'll only get tagged on YouTube if it's manually done. So if you hit 1 million views and you start making money from YouTube, that's when the record companies come and knock on your door and they say, "Hey, you used all of our songs." But it is an interesting one, and I don't know. Jade's probably closer, although Jade, I don't think you've released many covers either. But yeah, I've only released cover songs of one song, and I don't know of a mashup how that even works in terms of the logistics of releasing it. Because I know DistroKid will do the licensing for you. You pay $12 a year, and they handle all of the mechanical license with the songwriter. But when it's multiple songs and multiple songwriters, I got no idea how that would work. So it could be a good test case, Gary. Maybe we'll work on that. If there's enough demand from folks here that we should release it, then we should do that.
Sure. I'll be looking into that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and Jade said, we missed that one. Jade said, yeah, I say try uploading it. Yeah, just give it a crack. The thing is that if you put it as Vanilla Ice and it all goes to him, I don't think anyone from any of those other bands is going to find, oh, you use that one part of that one riff and going to come chasing you again until you're rich and famous and making millions of dollars, and then they'll come and knock on your door. They'll wait for that. Derek Smith is here in the house, fellow Australian. Derek, who lives in Australia. That was awesome. Queen, Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Queen are the worst for claiming or blocking. Hope they leave this masterpiece alone. Yeah, so you did pick a few there that do like to come after folks. So
yeah,
haven't you?
yeah. I probably, if I was trying to think about who was going to come for money, I probably wouldn't have picked Jimmy Page. And I know Queen already went after Ice 30 years ago. So, history might repeat itself, and I better finish this beer before they come and take it.
Yeah. And it appears that I've pissed off a few Limp Bizkit fans. So there you go, Gino. If you like Limp Bizkit, again, my opinion is that I don't love them. And there was an incident here in Australia at a big day out gig with Limp Bizkit where Fred Durst did some things that I wasn't a fan of. So we can talk about that another day. We're not going to bring the mood down, but yeah, if you want to rock out to Metallica or Limp Bizkit or anyone that I don't necessarily dig that much, then more power to you. But the more I listen to metal and the more Gary Hubbs I listen to, the influence thereof, I'm becoming more of a metal fan every day. It's kind of ridiculous. If you've heard my songs lately, it's all hard, and I want to go buy a new electric guitar. I'm that inspired to play the rock and stuff. So well done. You've infected me with your love of metal.
Thanks for that, Pete. You got a better wig than I do.
I do have to. I have to crack out that the wig again, because that was genius to go with that. Derek says you only miss the Eagles. Don't never cover an Eagles track and put it anywhere. They will come for you. They don't care if you got 12 views. They'll come and take your 12 views and block your song. The worst. I've never played an Eagles song deliberately on any of my live shows because they will come. They will come at you. If anyone here live has got any final questions, please throw them out here to Gary, and then we'll finish up and let you all go and watch the video another 4 or 5 times, because you'll want to. I've seen it about 10 times now, and every time I catch something new. It's one of those videos where you can watch it a bunch of times, because every time you'll miss something, and then you'll go back and you'll hear something in the audio or something in the video that you missed the first time. But any parting words or anything else that you wanted to add or talk about the creation of the song, the video, anything else before we tie this one up?
Oh, geez. I'm just so happy to finally have it released. It was a really fun journey. Something that my 7-year-old daughter said was made me really happy was that we were listening to the original Vanilla Ice version, and I was joking with her, and I said, "Listen, when he says kick it, nothing happens. Like, nothing happens. Go listen to the original Ice Ice Baby," and he says kick it, and nothing happens. Yeah. And so I finished this version, and my daughter's listening to it, and without prompting, she says to me, she's like, "Well, at least now when he says kick it, something happens." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fantastic. That's so cool." The kids, they'll finish the lines for me. I said to my 4-year-old the other day, I said, "Wow, you're on a roll." And she says, "Time to go solo." And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is too much. So I'm looking forward to purging this from the house, and I'll probably, having said that, if I release this, I'll probably be stuck playing this song for the rest of my damn life, honestly. So you know, as much as I want to get past it and get beyond it, it's probably gonna be tied to me for a while if I do release it. So
Well, that's
yeah,
and that's an interesting thing. I know Jay made that point when you chatted to her the other day that yeah, when you release a song like this and when you can't, if it becomes your big break, and shout out to the people in a year's time that are looking at this interview going, wow, remember that the Gary Hubbs, that amazing rock star? This was an interview he did like back before he was famous. But yeah, it's easy to get tied to a particular thing and a cover song that you do, or a novelty song. Like I've seen bands come and go that's been their thing, and then it's hard to get back to it. So, but
mhm.
I think, yeah, I think could be a good gateway for you into that world, because it's such a fun song. It's a well-known song, and then the almost the game involved in all the other songs that are infused into it, I think, is something that's going to appeal to people. And it's going to appeal to people that just listen to it and watch it on face value. Like my kids will watch it and go, "Hey, I know that song. That's cool." They won't get the references in the other 6 songs. And then
Yeah,
some of you old school rockers are going to listen to it and go, "I can't believe he got Kashmir in the end. Like, how did that even happen?" So, I
yeah,
think you're on the winner here, my friend.
cool. Doesn't Kashmir sound awesome with the distortion? It's sped up just a teeny bit. It's what a great metal riff hiding
It
there.
right? Exactly, yeah, 'cause if you hear the original version of that and you're just like, "Yeah, it's kinda just dragging its toes here," but when you hear it with a what is it? With a, souped up tempo, see? Yeah, and a hi-hat. Yeah,
There you go.
you should you should have seen Gary and I, the email conversations back. It's every time we emailed each other, we had to put the subject or the first line as another Vanilla Ice line. So I'm like, yeah, stop, collaborate, listen. He's like, too cold, too cold. And yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's see if we've got any final comments from folks here. Jade loved the wig, absolutely, and has already posted it over on her Facebook page. Yeah, so do jump down. Like I said, there's a pinned comment down in the bottom of this one. So as soon as you're done with this, go down, add a comment, hit the like button, do all those good things, but then go over and watch the official version on Gary's channel. Give it a bunch of views and a bunch of thumb love, as we say here. Scott says no questions, but great job for taking up the challenge and well worth it. And Tom liked your kids liking it. Eric says it's the perfect Christmas single. There you go. Absolutely, I love that.
Yeah.
Labatt's Ice adverts, definitely send it to them. There you go. So you can get some beer companies sponsoring you.
Oh
You drink,
yeah, there we go.
yeah, perfect. Got the Labatt's Blue there. Yeah, you go.
This one's a kokanee, but I like the Labatt's Ice. Perfect. Yeah,
Nice.
love it.
Very cool. Yeah, going to go viral, mark it down. There you go. Yeah, we've got people predicting stuff here. So the best thing for you to do is to go and watch it, share it, share the love, and enjoy it. But yeah, it was so much fun seeing this. And someone asked a question a little earlier. Someone saying, "What's next for Gary?" And someone said, Where does the challenge go from here? Does it bounce back now?" So, is there another cover song? And do you, now that you have fulfilled your obligation, do you get to throw something my way? And do we do it again and maybe do another vote here on the channel, because it was a lot of fun, and I need a project. I need my Christmas project for next month. So yeah, maybe the next thing is that Gary gets to choose a cover song for Pete to cover. That could be a bit of fun.
That could be a lot of fun. Yeah. What's next for me is I'm going to go back into original metal music, and this is my third interview, and I've got what 4 songs out now, so the ratio is getting a little high. I think I better
Yeah.
go into my cave and put my head down and come back with some more songs so that I can get the ratio a little bit better there.
Go and hit the parking lot and get some more tunes cranked out there. Well, thank you again for being here. Awesome job once again. Yeah, just check out the link that's going to be down in the description and down in the comments section. Jump on over to Gary's channel and check out the song, because it's awesome. And Derek, a country duet for the two of you, maybe not. But thank you for being here. And yeah, any final parting words before we finish up on this stream?
Yeah, no, I'm off the hook for challenges. I've fulfilled my. Yeah, no, this isn't about me anymore. I'm done. So yeah, no, my neck finally stopped hurting from that video shoot, and my knees finally stopped hurting from that video shoot, jumping off that wall. And I'm too old for this stuff.
I'm
That's
too I'm
I had
too this stuff. Danny Glover for the win. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Gary. We'll hang around and have another quick chat. But for the folks watching here live, jump on down, check out the video, and yeah, rock out, Ice Baby. Been a blast, and yeah, wish you all the best for the next tune and what's to come. Thank you for being here, Gary.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, everybody, for watching.